At Denver International Airport, while security officer Scout Becker patrols with his loyal German shepherd, Max, an unexpected moment shatters the routine. As they navigate the bustling baggage claim, Max suddenly begins barking furiously at a worn-out, abandoned suitcase. The atmosphere instantly shifts from the usual hustle to one of tension and curiosity, with every eye fixed on the mysterious suitcase. What shocking secret could it possibly be hiding? Before continuing the story, tell me which city you're watching from. I want to know how far this video has come. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so I can send you exciting stories like this every day. Thank you. At Denver International Airport, Scout Becker, a former Marine-turned-security officer, begins his routine patrol. By his side is Max, his loyal canine partner, a German shepherd with a keen nose and sharp instincts. Together, they scan the bustling baggage claim area. Scout is used to the monotony of airport security, crowds on the move, the hum of luggage wheels on tile floors. But today feels different. He can't quite put his finger on why. As they approach an isolated corner by an abandoned carousel, Max suddenly stiffens, his ears perking up. Without warning, he starts barking at a lone, worn-out suitcase. Scout tries to guide him away, but Max doesn't budge. His barking intensifies, echoing across the baggage claim and drawing a few curious glances. Scout's pulse quickens as he realizes this isn't a false alarm. He signals to his colleague to call for backup while trying to calm the agitated dog. Within minutes, a team of officers arrives, forming a cautious perimeter around the suitcase. Scout's supervisor, Officer Davis, gives a nod and Scout steps back, keeping Max close. The team carefully opens the suitcase. As the zipper slides open, silence falls over the room. Inside, curled up and shivering, is a little girl, no older than 4. She's disheveled, with dark curls matted to her forehead, her skin pale and her eyes wide with fear. For a moment, nobody moves. A wave of shock hits Scout as he takes in the frail form of the girl, her small hands clutching a worn teddy bear like a lifeline. Memories of his own daughter, whom he lost years ago, flash through his mind, and he instinctively kneels down to her level. "Hey there, sweetheart," he whispers gently. The girl blinks, looking between Scout and the other officers, too frightened to respond. A paramedic rushes over, assessing her condition with care. She's alive, but it's clear she's been through something traumatic. Scout watches as they lift her out of the suitcase and wrap her in a warm blanket, her small figure almost disappearing in the folds. The paramedics quickly take her to the airport's medical facility, and Scout finds himself lingering in the aftermath, staring at the empty suitcase and the stunned faces of his fellow officers. There's an unspoken understanding among them. This isn't a standard security incident. Davis approaches, placing a reassuring hand on Scout's shoulder. "Becca, head down to the medical unit. We need someone she can trust when she wakes up." Scout nods, grateful for the chance to do more than just file a report. As he walks through the sterile halls toward the medical center, his mind races. How did she end up here? Who could have abandoned a child in such a cruel manner? And why does he feel so deeply drawn to this little girl, this stranger whose silent suffering has ignited a fierce protective instinct in him? When he reaches the medical center, he finds her lying on a bed, still clinging to her teddy bear. She looks so small and vulnerable against the stark white sheets. Scout quietly stands by the doorway, not wanting to disturb her. Watching her, a deep-seated sense of purpose begins to take hold. In the days following her discovery, news of the girl in the suitcase spreads across the media, stirring public concern. Law enforcement steps up their investigation, but every lead hits a dead end. No missing child reports match her description. No family comes forward. The mystery of her identity and how she ended up alone in an airport suitcase grows. To the world, she's a tragic story. But to Scout, she's a fragile child in need of protection. The police ask Scout to stay close, noting her visible comfort around him. It doesn't take long for Scout to agree to temporary guardianship, a role he takes on with both seriousness and a glimmer of hope. His apartment transforms in unexpected ways. He clears out the guest room, sets up a small bed, and adds a few donated toys. He's careful not to overwhelm her, but wants her to feel comfortable. Despite his efforts, the adjustment is slow. Luna, as they start calling her, speaks little, her voice barely a whisper when she does. Her memories are vague, limited to brief mentions of a big cold house and instructions to be quiet. She clings to her teddy bear as though it's her only connection to something safe. Scout doesn't pry. He lets their routine settle naturally, giving her the space to feel secure. Their days take on a quiet rhythm with small signs of progress. Mornings bring shy smiles as Scout makes breakfast, often simple scrambled eggs and toast. Afternoons are spent watching the world outside the apartment window. Occasionally she'll point out a passing car or a bird, and Scout responds, encouraging her curiosity. At night, when she struggles to sleep, Scout stays close, providing calm reassurance. One evening, as Scout is cleaning up, he hears a small voice behind him. Luna, clutching her teddy bear, stands in the doorway, eyes on the floor. "I had a house big, with a lot of people," she says softly, her words laced with fear and longing. Scout stops, his heart aching, but he doesn't push. "A big house?" he asks gently, hoping she'll share more. She nods, her gaze distant. Though it leaves Scout with more questions than answers, he cherishes the moment as a sign of progress. Over time, Luna opens up in fragments, mentioning a strict woman who didn't like her to talk. Scout starts piecing together her memories, knowing that each detail, however small, could help lead to answers. He shares his findings with the authorities, but without concrete leads, they hit a standstill. Privately, Scout wrestles with his own memories, the loss of his daughter years ago, and the unexpected bond forming with Luna. Though she's a stranger, he feels an intense responsibility to protect her. Every smile, every small step forward becomes his measure of success. And while their journey is far from over, he senses they've found something neither of them realized they were missing, a sense of family. As days turn into weeks, Scout becomes accustomed to Luna's quiet presence in his life. She shows small hints of trust, a fleeting smile, a tiny hand gripping his finger, her relaxed posture when he's nearby. Yet he knows they're on borrowed time. The investigation has stalled, and there's an urgency to uncover her past before any danger can return. One rainy afternoon, as they watch raindrops race down the window, Luna murmurs, "There was a lady. She didn't like me to talk. Her voice is barely audible, like sharing this piece of her life is risky." Scout listens intently, resisting the urge to ask more. Over the next few days, she shares more scattered memories, a cold mansion, strict routines, and an underlying sense of fear. Each recollection feels like a breadcrumb, but the trail remains incomplete. Determined to find answers, Scout takes matters into his own hands. He spends nights researching places around Denver that match her descriptions. It's tedious work, and most leads go nowhere. But one day he gets a breakthrough. A woman at a nearby shelter recalls hearing rumors about a secluded mansion on the outskirts of the city, rumored to be a place of control and neglect. Fueled by this lead, Scout drives out one evening, parking a distance away from the property. It's a large, imposing structure surrounded by high walls, shrouded in shadows. Scout can't shake the feeling that this place might be connected to Luna's past. He watches it for a while, noting the security cameras and tall gates, wondering if they're meant to keep people out or someone in. Back home, Scout carefully considers his next move. He doesn't want to alarm Luna, but he's running out of options. He shares his suspicions with a detective friend who promises to look into records and any complaints tied to the property. In the meantime, Scout focuses on giving Luna a sense of safety. He knows that every small gesture matters, that each bit of trust she extends is a victory. Yet with her past lingering in the shadows, Scout knows their peace could shatter at any moment. One evening, as he tucks her into bed, she reaches out, gripping his hand with surprising strength. "Will you stay?" she whispers, her eyes filled with hope and fear. The question takes Scout by surprise, piercing through his defenses. He realizes in that moment how much she's come to mean to him. "Yes, Luna, I'll stay. I promise," he says softly, a vow as much to himself as to her. As he watches her drift into sleep, Scout knows that whatever darkness lies in her past, he'll face it head on. Because now, it's not just about finding answers. It's about protecting the family he never expected to find. And so, The journey that began with chaos at the airport and led to Luna finding a loving home with Scout Becker comes to a close, leaving us with a powerful message of hope, healing, and the enduring strength of compassion. This story of Scout and Luna marks the beginning of a new chapter, a chapter filled with inspiration, where even the smallest acts of love can work miracles. Although the investigation into Luna's mysterious past still faces many dead ends, Scout's unwavering dedication has given her a chance to heal in a future filled with promise. Together, they have begun to piece together the fragments of a once broken life, lighting up a path toward a brighter tomorrow. If this heartfelt story has touched your soul and reminded you that every life deserves a second chance and that love has the power to transform even the bleakest circumstances, please hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channel. By subscribing, you won't miss our upcoming videos featuring more inspiring stories of resilience, redemption, and the extraordinary strength of the human spirit. Your subscription, along with every like and share, is a vital part of our mission to spread hope and positivity far and wide.